Looking to go out in the town in the city of Boston for an affordable price and grab some great food, drinks, and atmosphere in the Seaport District? Well, look no further than newcomer Seaport Social. Seaport Social is a premier and authentic social house that is poised to proudly serve the Boston area for many years to come. Their mission is to provide high-quality food and unique craft beer selection, along with a welcoming atmosphere for all those that wish to witness firsthand what the Boston social spirit is all about. From a top-notch bar, great group seating, to their premier menu including their massive loaded nachos, endless craft beers on tap, and an exquisite espresso martini option, look for manager Jimmy, who will satisfy your needs. A project that has been 4 years in the making is finally here. Seaport Social, which is located at 225 Northern Avenue in the Seaport District in Boston, will officially open its doors for their grand opening December 1st. Get there while you can and tell them Steele Nazz sent you. Eat, drink, social. That's what the Seaport Social does.
Episode 118. Welcome to Steele Nazz, brought to you by Hedge Better from our headquarters in Braintree, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Boys, we're buzzing tonight. Mike
Buzzing.
Steele, Magic Mike in studio.
Huge pod.
Showtime's in prime time in Worcester right now. Jay Fine on the producer track.
Yes, sir.
All out here. Tonight we have Bruins insider, NESN analyst Billy Jaffe on the call. Great guy, real good insight on the best team in the NHL right now, the Boston Bruins. Along we kind of discuss about his broadcasting career, kind of bounced from a couple teams, the Thrashers, and then also kind of previewed the Frozen Four next week as Michigan Wolverines take on Quinnipiac. BU's also involved. What do you guys think of the interview? Both were present.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I'm just such a great insider. I mean, I've been watching him post-game, pre-game since he's been on the Bruins. Like, that was incredible to finally talk to that guy, like person to person, face to face. I mean, it was awesome.
He welcomed me on the bandwagon. Great guy.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, knowledgeable.
He didn't put me down.
Afterwards, we have Patrick J. Foley in studio to talk about his upcoming fundraiser and give us some Final Four picks. Fundraiser is going to be this Saturday at JJ Foleys in support. He's running the Boston Marathon.
He's running the Boston Marathon. It goes to a charity. I am not sure.
Yeah,
off the top of my head,
I think it's
you'll learn it.
You'll learn it if you keep listening. We'll cover a little Lamar Jackson rumors. Are the Pats in or out? The Celtics are in a slump going into the playoffs. MLB season preview. Are the Red Sox going to completely suck, or do we have a little bit of light here after the World Baseball Classic? We'll answer all those following the Billy Jaffe interview, but let's get it going here with NESN's own Bruins insider Billy Jaffe. We're now joined by on-air hockey analyst for NESN Boston Bruins, Billy Jaffe. Great to have you on. Just obviously it's been a great season, 57-12-5. Just my question right out of the gate is how are you doing? And of course you've covered the team with NESN for I want to say like over a decade. How is this year different than every other one of them?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I mean, I really have no complaints this year with regard to how the team's doing. Right? I guess the only complaint is when they lose, you don't know what to say, because it's really, it's remarkable what they're doing. I mean, this is, as I've said, probably too many times now, this is like, youth hockey type stuff record that they have. You're not supposed to do some of these things that they're doing at the NHL level. Now, with that said, they're a really fun team to be around. They are fun to cover. And this is the type of thing where what I love about this team is that they know that the end result is the goal. The cup is the ultimate goal. Yeah. And they understand that, while they've enjoyed this, they are anything but satisfied. And, when the team is led like that and believes like that, then the rest of us just kind of, when I say a follow along, I don't know if that sounds right. I talk about it as the same way, like these guys are an unbelievable team first. And it's a pleasure following, talking about them, having conversations about them.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like when they were like 19-3-3, I was like, all right, like this has to calm down at some point. Yeah, like something's gonna happen, and that just didn't. One ripped like 2 10-game win streaks. Like,
yeah, I just think one of the main points I look at this season is obviously the departure of Bruce Cassidy. Comes in Jim Montgomery. If you're not really a hockey fan, you don't really know who he is too much. comes in, makes a presence right away. Just kind of what your thoughts on how he's affected the team, I think definitely in a positive note.
Yeah, Jim has really been what they needed in the sense of, look, coaching changes happen. Look, Bruce Cassidy's doing real well with Vegas too.
Yeah.
So he was obviously good for them. But the tough business, I don't think I need to tell you guys that, how much you follow sports. But Monty's a really good communicator. Monty is he's smart. I mean, his mind is always going. I love going to his practices, guys, and watching the drills and how he works it and stuff. I've learned a lot from it. And the way that he has, instilled confidence in a lot of the guys that probably needed it more, some more than others, obviously, but they get confidence. They've been able to take their games to another level, and it's been a real pleasure to watch. And, at times I think we forget that these guys, they're superhuman athletes. Really, they are. When you think about anybody that can play 1 minute, forget one full game, 1 minute of a pro sport at the highest level is a freak. And I mean that in the ultimate respect way. I mean, that's how good they are. Even, I always tell this to people, and I don't want to go on a tangent here, but, people say, that guy's no good. He's a fourth liner scratch. Or I'm like, you don't realize how freaking good that guy really is, right? But when all said and done, they still need confidence. That's my point. And some of them were, I think, battling that. I don't think that they were, feeling like they could get to their max performance. And sometimes it's no different than a change of leadership at a business. A company that sells things, there's a guy that communicates, or a woman that communicates a certain way. And sometimes you need another way. And I think that's what Montgomery's brought in. He's also, he's a smart guy. He kept what Bruce Cassidy did, who, by the way, kept a lot of what Claude Julien did in the defensive zone, because it works. But he's really established an awful lot early on in the season, an awful lot of differences through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. And that created a different feel for the team on the ice, and it created a different vibe. And then again, I go back to just his personality, his communication. These guys have taken that off the ice and helped bring it to another level too.
I just think when you talk about levels of confidence this coach brings, I think of two guys off the rip, and that's Pavel Zacha, who traded. You thought it was kind of an even trade, him for Haula, and he's going to be close to a 20 goal scorer this season. And then Jacob DeBrusk's pulled a total 180 for this team, close to 30 goals even with the injury. I just kind of want to know what you kind of think of the turnaround that Jacob DeBrusk's had. Very, very much one of the fastest skaters on the ice. I think there was a game last week. He just blew by everyone for a goal. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Jake's been awesome. Let's not forget, though, guys, that he got put into this position, meaning top line, by Bruce Cassidy with about a third of the way to go last year, despite the situation that was evolving around Jake, the trade request, I don't want to call it controversy, but you know what I mean. That kind of the dialogue that was going on. And he started to get going, and he started to take off, and I think that helped with his confidence. But definitely the offseason, signing the contract, coming back, a different voice, a different opportunity has been huge for him. But the player, you can have all those differences, but the player has to make the biggest difference. And Jake has. Jake has taken the proverbial bull by the horns, and he's played with the pace, the quickness, the zealousness that you need him to be. And he's become a driver for that line. And you've got special players. I mean, think about it. He's the puck retriever guy, first on forecheck an awful lot. He's become a very integral part of that line, and I've loved his overall game this year. He's a great guy with regard to in the locker room. Guys all love him. He's got a goofiness to him. And he's showing a ton of swagger around the net. Some of these soft shots that he leans to the right and he goes back to the left, or the shootout like the other night in Carolina where he rocketed over the glove of Freddie Anderson.
Beautiful.
Those are confidence moves right there. And we've been seeing it all year. Really thrilled for him. He had to deal with some stuff. Everybody goes through it. All of us do in our career, multiple times. And hopefully, as a pro athlete, you've got such a finite career. You don't have many of them, but he dealt with it. And I think he's come out on the better end of it. With regard to Pavel Zacha that you brought up, I mean, confidence for him, though, that's getting traded from one team to another. He needed a change of scenery. is what he needed after being a very high draft pick. Was it 6-7 years ago?
Yeah.
Of New Jersey. And, you know, I don't know if the Bruins, I think they thought they would get something pretty darn good. I don't know if they thought they'd get a 50-point, 60-point guy. I think they were hoping that they would get that. But if you really think about it, it's as perfect a place for him to be with other young players that are not, you know, rookie young, but youngish, but also a lot of Czech players around him too. I'm sure he felt right at home with all of the Krejcis and the Pastas and Tomáš Nosek being around him as well.
I didn't realize how good of a shot he had either. I feel like each one of his goals are just top notch.
Every goal, it's nuts.
Betting world, yeah.
It's unbelievable. His release is, you stand behind the net, like I'll do it at practice every once in a while, and you watch his shot, there's a difference. And this is something, again, I go back to people talking about, I can shoot as hard as a pro. No, you can't. No, you can't. I mean, there's a way that it's like the way that the golf ball comes off of a pro, a PGA guy, the 250th rated player in the world. It's sick. You know, you're like, how did that happen? You know, and it's gone. It's the same thing with these guys shooting. And Pavel's release, he's so strong. He's got the hands up high. He gets it off and he smokes it.
In the books, now that Massachusetts is now a gambling place, they always have them at like 3-1 to score. I feel like, 18, 19 goals, people are making some good money nowadays.
They should. I'm an ignorant guy when it comes to the gambling, but I would think that, he should. I would put money on that guy. I would.
Once or twice.
I think he's built for playoffs too. I hope he is. Physically, mentally, I think he's built for playoffs. I just like how he comports himself out there.
I love the Hathaway move, too, for the playoffs. That guy is just someone that's going to attack, start causing a ruckus out front, stuff like that.
Yeah, he's a Bruin through and through. He's an old school Bruin, really, more than anything. They haven't always had that much of it in the last few years. They had a little more this year with Foligno, and he's healthy, AJ Greer. But Garnet Hathaway, the geography plays out well because him being a Kenny Bunkport kid, but also just what he's about, his DNA, how he plays is really impressive. I think all their trades guys have helped them significantly.
Yeah, Orlov.
I mean, Orlov's been great. Bertuzzi's been, I didn't realize that Tyler was as good a passer as he is, and he is just that. Orlov, I always knew that he was one of the better open ice hitters in the game, and I knew he had a great shot, but then you watch him play, and you see how well he uses his stick to take away ice and to separate players and his instinct. So I agree with you. Listen, Hathaway's been fun, and I think he's going to be a key element for the team in the playoffs. They're going to definitely need that kind of fourth line grit. But he's more than just that. He's going to kill some penalties too. They're going to need that for sure.
He's a hockey player. I feel like the fourth line, there's going to be a tough, healthy scratch come playoff time. It's going to be someone in, a suit who, if on another team would probably be playing for a third or fourth line. I got to go to the game the other night. Montreal, it seems like they're playing way more grittiness. Like obviously the whole Bergeron thing getting hit late. Marchand comes around, hits the guy to the ground, and then you see the Saturday matinee game right off the rip. Garnet Hathaway, it seems like more they keep getting more confident and more tough throughout this season going on. Not just the record wise, obviously the record's unbelievable, but this is a great team to watch, not just for winning games.
No question. Yeah. They're more they're a complete team. With a more complete team, and they can play. I think they can play pretty much any style. I think that's where they're at, and that to me is important because you're going to face different styles round to round, in the playoffs. And you saw that this past weekend, as you said, Saturday against Tampa. That had a playoff feel to it. I guess Carolina did too, albeit the Bruins were out three of their top players.
Yeah.
But they showed that they can play a smart game, a chip and recover game, get in deep. And then they were able to play a real physical game on Saturday. And so both of them were very encouraging.
Definitely. I think that one of their top advantages against every other team is, of course, their goaltending with Ullmark and Swayman here. We kind of joked to fans whatever last week about who should be playing then in the playoffs. I think the obvious answer would be Linus Ullmark. He's been probably the best goaltender in the league all year. But how much of a luxury is it? I don't think there's any reason for them to ever play, a goalie twice in a row and a back-to-back. Just, your thoughts on the goaltending, how it's been as a whole this season.
Been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, it's been, Linus has been the whole season long a little bit more consistent. I mean, how can look at his record? It's just amazing. But Swayman the last 6 weeks or so has been back. He has been his body language is outstanding. His presence in net has been exactly what you could ask for. His saves at big time quotient, if there is such a thing, has been right up there with Linus's. It works for them right now. The tandem. I don't, Linus will get. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get the start in the playoffs, right? I think we all know that.
Yeah, he'll be starting.
Monty talked about that a little bit the other day, but I don't think that they would hesitate to go back. I know they wouldn't. I mean, look, would it surprise anybody if they walked in the locker room even after a couple of games and whatever, let's say they were good games or whatever, but all of a sudden they saw Swayman's name up on the wall? I mean, on the board, I don't think it would, because of the trust that they have in him. And they've seen, it's not like he hasn't been a main guy for him this year as well.
Yeah, and I thought that was great this year too with Swayman, because he had that bit where he was shaky and has a young goalie that can, especially when the other player is just being out of this world. But then he bounced back, and I think he's been like the fourth best goalie in the NHL in those that 6 week span. It's a great recovery.
He's a very mature kid. He is. He's been trained well. I'd call it the academic part of goaltending, the psychological part of goaltending, in addition to the physical part of goaltending. And I think part of his thing is resetting. All goalies need to reset. Everybody, all players need to reset, but especially goalies. You're going to give up goals, right? So you got to do the old water off the back. You can't worry about it. But I think that's easier said than done. But, Jeremy, at least I've gotten to know him just a bit over the last few years. He's an impressive kid. He's got a real straight up stoic approach to it. It's methodical. You can tell, again, he's done a lot of mental exercises and stuff, and I think that's allowed him to reset. And working with goalie Bob Asenza, helping him get reset physically has been awesome. And he's an impressive kid. He absolutely. And Linus, Linus a couple of years older, but I talked to some players that used to play with Linus in Buffalo, and they're like, Kyle Oposo told me, he's like, hardest goal I've ever shot on in practice, to score on in practice. Wow. Hard, like unbelievable. Yeah. Tons of respect for him. He didn't get a lot of attention in Buffalo because he was behind a pretty bad team there.
Oh yeah, they stunk.
Yeah. I mean, but his save percentage the last year or two was pretty damn good in the mid, like 916, 917.
Well, because even Bruins fans, when they signed him, was it back a year or two ago? They're like, why do we need him? We have Swayman and then Rask coming off injury. Obviously, Rask retired, but it seems like a good pickup now, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The Bruins did their due diligence on that one. No question.
Which one do you think's here more for the long haul? Like, say, after this year?
Couple of years. Anyway.
Good question, Matt.
Do you think one stays? Probably don't roll with two after this year, I wouldn't think.
I don't know. I mean, I think we're starting to see more and more tandems in the NHL. The question may come down to financial and the salary cap. And, do you have other needs on your team that you need to address? I think that will be the question. They're both, one guy is in his physical, the guy who's in, Linus is older, so he's in that physical mental prime. I mean, he is in that sweet spot right now. People say, physical prime for an athlete is 18 to 23. Nah, it's more like the 24, 25, because 26, then that mental part of it comes into play, and you hit that real ultimate sweet spot, I think, in your late 20s as an athlete. Linus is there. Swayman's still learning. He's still maturing in that regard. So you can make a case for both, but I'm not even ready to go there, because let's see what needs they have. And then it's a crappy answer. I could see both, and I could see them saying we can only keep one due to those circumstances.
It is awesome, though. I feel like I haven't seen two goalies just have so much respect and love for each other as those two do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And to your,
I can't think of it either. And I do a lot. I have my own. We have a podcast with Andrew Raycroft, and I asked Razor about that, and he talked about, I don't think he's ever had a goalie this time. I mean, he had guys that he's really good friends with, but he said, I always looked up to them and it was different. You know, these guys seem to be legit, you know, like great best of buddies.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I was
That's what
gonna
we want.
say too. You said, you know, he's in his full athletic peak in his late 20s. I'm in my late 20s, and I feel like the prime of my softball career is
Falling apart.
Is falling apart. So.
You're on the back nine.
I hope not. I'm falling apart. I'm turning 54. My body is absolutely falling apart. I hope that you've got a couple of more years.
Yeah, we'll see.
I see that you've got a coffee beverage in front of you.
Yeah,
so it looks
bit.
like you're the only one that's taking your training seriously.
Yeah, I had to wake up a little bit after the 9 to 5. You know, had to get it going.
There you go. Yes.
On your career question, so you played hockey at Michigan. What kind of got you into wanting to do more of the hockey analyst stuff? I know you kind of bounced from a couple NHL teams, but you know, a little bit more in your career wise.
Well, I never planned, thought, dreamt, expected to be in broadcasting. I'd never done anything like that before. I fell into it in my late 20s with an opportunity in Chicago with the Chicago Blackhawks in their radio broadcast. That's how I got into it. There was a gentleman who believed in me and said, we need somebody to take over a position as the pre-intermission post game. And he knew that I'd played. He knew that I was still playing. I was playing with a glorified senior team at the time. Nice. It was probably, it was a step above beer league and a step below slap shot, somewhere in there. And
good place to be at.
And we had a great time with it, and we traveled around. Anyways, he knew that I'd played, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "Sure. I mean, why not?" And then the next thing you know, by the end of that summer, I'd been given an opportunity to go sit in on an exhibition, a preseason game, as the quote-unquote analyst, to listen in and talk a little. And the next game, they said, "You want to do it?" And I just did it, and I started talking. That's how I started.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I got into the biz. Within a couple of years, a year, I was doing color a few times for a few college games and a few on the old IHL for the Chicago Wolves. And then after into my second full year, actually, I was doing a ton of games. In my third year, I was doing college hockey game of the week, Wolves every game, and then a few other NHL things. And then I was in Atlanta by year 3 or 4 doing the Atlanta Thrashers. It happened very rapidly for me.
Was Heatley on the team at that point?
Yeah. Danny Heatley was there. Ilya Kovalchuk was there.
Oh, that's a team.
We had some characters, man. We had some characters with those teams, but Heater was there.
What brought you to Atlanta first? Was that any reason?
I got brought. No, all hockey. I moved all around because of hockey. Long story short, I got a phone call from Atlanta. It was the end of September. I'd done 2 years of broadcasting, and I'd put out a resume. They were looking for an opportunity. I reached out to them. I reached out to a few teams, and I said, "Hey," and then they came back to me late September. I got a call. I'll never forget this. I was no BS. I was literally about to open up my checkbook. I don't know if you guys even know what checkbooks are, but
seen them once or twice.
I was opening a checkbook to write a check for escrow for a condo that I was going to buy, and in Chicago, and my cell phone rang. Yes, ancient cell phones, and it was an area code 404. I had no idea. I answered it, and it was vice president for the Atlanta Thrashers, and he started talking to me about wanting to come down for their radio color, but also some TV work for them too. And I said verbatim, he said, "Are you interested?" I said, "I'm interested if you're really interested. I'm not doing this if you're not." He said, "I wouldn't be calling you if I wasn't serious." No. And I said, "Okay." And I put away my checkbook, and I was on a flight down there, I think 4 days later. And then that was it.
Where were you going to buy the condo?
Chicago.
Oh, yeah, you said that. So
Which of the cities that you had worked in do you feel was the best hockey environment? Like at the city as a whole?
Boston.
Easy answer.
Boston's the best. And New England. Now look, I have a good time wherever I am. I'm biased towards Boston, even though I grew up in Chicago. My maternal side is from Boston. My mom grew up here in Winthrop. My Grom's mom, my Nana, lived as she moved out of Winthrop, but lived in the city right on Beacon Street. And
nice.
so she was kind of my every weekend when I would talk to her, she loved Boston sports. And so as much as I liked Chicago sports growing up there, my heart was legitimately
Really?
with
Wow.
Boston sports teams, like legit. So
We
I'm
believe you.
biased in that regard. I grew up.
Yeah,
I
love
mean,
it.
I grew up. My favorite player was Peter McNabb. I mean, Peter McNabb was, and here I was a kid growing up in Chicago, but Peter McNabb, I wanted to be Peter McNabb every time playing street hockey when I was 10 years old. You know, I mean,
All-time
he was the best.
Nice.
And, Dwight Evans with the Red Sox
Yep.
and John Hanna with the Patriots. Those were my guys. And then, Tiny Archibald with the Celtics, but then Bird and Maxwell, all those guys. So I grew up learning how to read too by reading the sports pages so I could see what was going on with the Bruins and Celtics and all those teams.
Wow. Just
Nice.
Chicago guy just loving the Boston life. I like that.
I couldn't get enough.
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
get enough
awesome.
of Boston
Well,
sports.
well, I did see your first year in NESN was the Cup year. So just that.
No,
well,
it was the year after. It was 11, not 10-11. It was 11-12.
11-12. Okay. So you
Yeah,
see,
I covered the
missed
Cup
bone?
though
Okay.
for NHL Network. I was fortunate enough to be on the ice when they got it, and I'm not going to deny it was pretty freaking cool.
Oh, yeah.
To see that. But I'm working for the NHL Network. They sent me to be the guy, covering Tampa and Boston series, that epic series that ended in the 1-0 Game 7.
Yeah.
And then I was part of the big crew that was traveling between Van and Boston, and it was freaking awesome. It was great.
Was it hard to not be biased against that scumbag Vancouver team? As a Boston
No.
sports fan?
No, because at that time, I was, I had, I may have on the inside had a little smile when they won, but I'm just happy to be working and as but the little kid in me, all kidding is a little kid in me was, it was hard not to really be smiling after they won. It's okay to still have that feeling, but you keep it when you're on the air. If you're working for a national entity, you keep it clean, you keep it down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Did they tell you to do that, or that like
Never.
No, they never.
Never.
So you can allow some bias in if you wanted.
Well, no, it's just
but I don't think it benefits you.
Yeah.
As a broadcaster.
No.
But
You're right
and
about that.
and I'm there to celebrate the game. I know that sounds kind of corny, but I mean, I'm there to promote a great hockey game or a great series. But it was awesome to see them. It was, awesome to see them win. But I think if they were to pull off something like that now, it would be harder because I've been associated with the team since 11.
Yep.
Working with NESN and closer to it and living in Boston and loving living here and love working for NESN. And I never had the dream come true because I never had the dream. This things just kind of happened for me in this broadcast world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where. But you asked me where the best. I mean, the hockey recognition in Chicago got awesome, but it took. They were awful. They were abysmal. They were for a long time, and then they got great. I was gone by then. Even though I grew up in Chicago, it was nice, but the team wasn't any good. So the hockey recognition and the hockey playing in the New England area is really the market. It's amazing. There are other really good U.S. markets, but I can't tell you. Minnesota would be up there. I think Michigan would be up there, but Minnesota, Michigan, and Mass, the 3 M's, man, would be it.
I always see those Minnesota high school hockey games when they pack the barn. It just seems like that's a really cool hockey state.
They do it right there.
Yeah.
They do. They do some not even they do that right. No doubt.
That's like a Texas high school football game or something.
Oh yeah,
where, like the crowds just
it's
sell it
crazy
out
when
and
those
it's going
videos
nuts.
drop. Yeah.
Yep, tradition. It's really good tradition. They have it in Mass a bit at the Garden after the Hockey East finals and stuff. But and they get nice crowds there. But you're talking 16,000 to 18,000 in Minnesota for that whole weekend there.
Can you give us a little talk on like Jack Edwards working in NESN and all that?
I mean, what do you want? He's been great to work with.
Any electric stories with him?
I don't. He works. I'm in a different area than him.
Yeah.
So I don't. I mean,
You have to pardon me. I'm not the biggest hockey watcher. I will be hopping on the bandwagon for playoffs. That's typically what I do. You can yell at me or scold me for that
guy.
I am that guy.
He's that guy.
Well, that's okay.
But you're getting me
every
hyped
wagon
up.
needs a band.
Exactly. No, we accept him. We accept.
No,
But I know Jack Edwards is electric. That's why I'm asking.
He is. He's well prepared. He's passionate. He's got his style. He's a guy that, I mean, he loves hockey, loves the Bruins, and I've worked as the same company with him, but I haven't worked with him. My role is very different, very different. But he's been great. I love people that love hockey and that you work with, that work hard. There's sometimes you can tell most people in our business work very hard. You can tell when there's some, he works. At least I think his preparation is impeccable.
I was thinking about your style. What's kind of your preparation going into, just say the Bruins played Nashville last night. You guys have the pregame and postgame. Do you guys do you just look over your notes, or do you just kind of have it?
No, I do a book every game. If I had it out, I'd show you. It's nothing. It's just every game has a page, and I have lineups, and then I have stuff. I make notes on one page that the players did in previous games, what they've done for the week. If something's interesting from an individual or a team perspective, depending on who they're playing, I might have a ton on the opponent. I might have a little on the opponent. It depends. I mean, I'm always reading and talking and watching. So that's also my prep. That's work, right? Like I can tell my wife, please, hey, don't bother me right now because I'm watching a game. I'm working.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting
Nice.
on the couch.
That comes in handy.
Yeah. Perfect.
It does. But I mean, so the prep is constant. It's just a matter of there are days, by the way, like when I'm going to work, I do a lot of work for the NHL Network as well. And I'm working harder there because I know the Bruins very well. Like you do them you get into a rhythm every game. You're doing it. You understand, you brush up, but you're good. It's when you're trying to, get back up to par on other teams where you really got to work hard. But I'll do work during the day. I'll do reading. I go to morning skate if it's, if there is one, if I haven't been to, I go to most. I'd say I go to 80, if not 90% of the morning skates.
It's good attendance.
Yeah, go and talk to the guys, and go hang out and just show your face. And I also think it's just part of my game routine. But then I'll go home and then I'll get myself ready and I'll do my notes and go to the game for a 7:00 game. If it's a home game, I leave at 4. Get in between 4:30 and 4:45. Go say hi to the visiting coach usually. Yesterday I went down and talked to John Hines from Nashville for 15 minutes and see what's going on, say hi to a couple of guys. And then I go up to the booth and our fifth floor suite at NESN and start doing a little more work, going over some other notes, just looking. But once the broadcast starts, I'm not really looking down at notes or anything. I'm just taking what I know and what we're talking about. And then every once in a while I may have a little, I'll look down 4 goals, not 5 or whatever, but that's it. But to me, it's not just every game is another chapter in a book, but otherwise it's just about taking all the information you've accrued over the year. I mean, there's a lot of info I got the first half of the year that I'm still using now because I went and talked to a coach from another team, that type of thing.
Just getting that inside scoop. Speaking of show and face, we have a softball charity tournament every year, and Todd Angley sang at it before. Todd Angley's been in the studio actually. Just any interactions with him, he's a hell of a guy. I see him a lot. He's next to us in the bar, bartending over there. So, I get to see him an awful lot. Wonderful guy. And we had him on our podcast, Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor, and we had a fun time with him. And again, I see him get game, not daily, but game day at home.
Yeah, a couple times a week.
Yeah, and great. I'm thrilled for him, and I think he does a fantastic job.
Oh yeah,
and you know what? Again, here's another guy that prepares. He does his job. He's so proud of it. And just, he prepares and he's ready, and I love his passion for it.
He was even ready in here after his interview. We all stood up after, took the hats off, sang the national anthem in this room. So that was something to see, right?
It was.
That's cool.
It was impressive.
It was. Yeah, it was game ready.
Yeah. Back on the team a little bit. We've been kind of having this discussion the past couple weeks. Who do you think is the Bruins, toughest opponent? Like, who you be kind of afraid of if they go up against them in the playoffs? I kind of have a couple teams in mind, but I kind of wanted to hear what you said.
Well, if I'm looking round to round, I guess. I guess if you could avoid it in the first round, the Islanders, only because I think of the wild card potential teams, they've got the best goalie who's capable of stealing some games, and I still think I think they're getting pretty healthy too. I don't know the status on Matt Barzal, but otherwise everybody seems to be getting healthier. They can still, I think, play a couple of heavy games in a row. And they also beat the Bruins a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Look, I don't see them beating the Bruins in 7, but I'm never going to say never. But if I go round by round, them, Tampa, Toronto, man, oh man.
Coin flip.
I guess Toronto's the wild card. I have so much respect for John Cooper and what Tampa does, but Toronto this year, if their guys get cohesive, could they have enough to beat the Bruins? I think offensively they'd be a challenge. I wonder if the depth for the Bruins would win out there. And then I look at Carolina or New York, and I'm still trying to figure out the Rangers because it's hard not to be impressed with their top 6, especially with the ads of Kane and Tarasenko.
Yeah, huge ads.
Huge ads. And then their third line, though, the kid line, the Philip Heda line, Lafreniere, and Kakko, they were good last year in the playoffs. I'm wondering, if they're really good again, then I think that this team, that Ranger team, could surprise some people. Shesterkin, their goaltender there, has not had what you would call he's had a good year. He has not had an amazing year. And I think he gets on an amazing run. That could be a bit problematic too.
Absolutely, because it's in there. Because he's been a Vezina level goalie for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And I feel like Carolina would be like the obvious choice, just because good a season they've had. They've kind of, outside of on Sunday, they've kind of had the Bruins number. That's a team that you can kind of look at.
Well, but they haven't had the Bruins number this year. The Bruins have now beaten them twice.
Okay.
Remember that they beat them once at home and once on the road. Meanwhile, Carolina beat them at home. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I know what you're saying, and Carolina, the loss of Svechnikov is Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah.
Listening to know he's a big time performer for them. It's pretty big loss. And I still look at the goaltending and I just want to say which one is it going to be? But they're on that, they're in that sweet spot right now for trying to win a Stanley Cup there. They've been close to getting to it, but they haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. And I know this year is totally different, but last year it was just the polar of the games, whether who had home ice. That series last year was so bizarre. Even going the next series, it was more of the same. It was against the Rangers, but the Rangers held out and won in Game 7, right? That's how it went?
Right.
Yeah.
Game, was it 7? Yeah. 6. I can't remember.
Yeah,
but
I
should remember. Yes.
Either way, it's not an easy road to that cup, no matter how good the Bees have been.
It's
scary. That's a good amount of teams you just rattled off that can take us out.
Carolina would be like first, like almost any other year.
Yeah.
And it's just like the Bruins are just on such a tear, like points
right.
wise.
And the thing of it is we're all, and I understand why people ask me this all the time. Who scares you the most? Well, I don't know who's going to get out of Tampa, Toronto. Yeah. I don't know who's going to get out of New Jersey, New York. You don't even mention New Jersey, who's had an amazing year. I think they're very good, but I don't think they're ready for a cup run. But I say all that. First of all, what the hell do I know? I mean, literally. I mean, you got 6 unbelievable teams. Second of all, I mean, I got to, it's almost like you got to go round to round because after the first round in the East, you're going to have 3 really good teams that are out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
Really good teams.
That home ice is going to mean a lot, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa and Toronto. I mean, Christ.
Yeah, will Toronto ever get out of the first round? That's always they've been a pretty good damn team for like years now. That they should have got out last year. We'll see what happens this year. Yeah. I gotta ask because since you're a Michigan guy, Frozen 4 this weekend. How you like your chances with your Wolverines against Quinnipiac?
I I think it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
I do. One of the things that Michigan, and actually they're playing, not to correct you, they're playing a week from this week.
Oh, it's a week. It's a week.
Yeah, basketball takes over.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they take over. So I would say Quinnipiac is an older team. They're a bigger team. They're a very structured team. And they're the type of team, a really good goalie. They're the type of team, if Michigan doesn't play an immature game. Michigan last year played Denver, right? And they played, but Michigan has a lot of younger players. They got a couple of olders this year, but they got a lot of younger. They're nowhere near as old as Quinnipiac. I think Quinnipiac's one of the oldest teams in the country.
And they just took down Ohio State too, right? Ohio State whooped Harvard. Was that? Am I thinking the right teams? Yeah.
Ohio State, they ended up beating Harvard pretty good. But I'm gonna, if Michigan plays a mature game, they have a chance. If they don't, part of the thing about being a mature game is that you can't push it, and just skill. You're gonna have to will it a bit. You're gonna have to massage the game a bit. I'm rooting for Michigan, but the Quinnipiac size and age definitely has to be respected.
Great, and then you got BU. Who's BU playing on the other side?
Minnesota.
Again, good.
Minnesota is a great team, and they got 3 guys in their top line that are, off the charts good. BU's banged up. They got a few guys that are, I think, TBD, and if they're not fully healthy, I think that could be a real tough ask. Now, BU has a more mature team this year too. They have a lot of older players that decided to stay. Juniors, seniors, and a grad guy because of Jay Pandolfo and his staff coming in. They felt like last year they didn't finish their biz, and this year they wanted to. So he's a wonderful guy too. Pando's awesome. I'm thrilled for his success.
Comesso holding down the fort, goaltending.
Yeah, BU's one of those teams too. Like they can just turn it on. Like when Western Michigan game was even as could be, and then BU just like that was up 3-1.
Yeah, they can go, no question.
I think we lead it with the last question. Magic, are you going to ask about concessions at the Garden? What's your favorite concession?
I was going to ask it. Well, I don't know exactly where you live now, but in Boston, any food? I usually ask about the concessions at the Garden, but any food outside of the Garden. I'm a big concessions guy.
I don't. Yeah, you are big. Okay. Well, I don't eat at the concessions. I figured other food sources, thankfully, and last night they had some. They had They called them Nashville hot. I don't really think they were that hot, but they had some great wings.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm a big food guy. I love food. I'm an equal opportunity eater. But near the Garden, I love the North End and find a few places. I had a delicious meal the other night at Limoncello. Just hung out there and with my family in town, and I'm a Mike's Pastry guy. I know that there's others, and I understand that people have their opinions, and I get it.
That line's crazy.
Well, it's
Man
friends. Friends. You need to have friends in good places. I love Mike's, but I'm telling you, I can go from lobster to I love seafood. I do love meat. I shouldn't eat as much of it. Big ribs guy. That's one thing in Boston that I haven't found.
Yeah, there's not really great ribs. Chili's.
It's please.
Applebee's.
I can't think of anywhere I've had great
my
ribs.
house.
My
barbecue.
There we go.
Are we invited? Can we get the invite?
We'll have to. This is our first date.
I like that.
Magic likes going home on the first date. I don't know.
Are you a North Shore or South Shore guy, Car? You don't have to say where you're living, but just curious.
I'm Metro West.
Metro West, nice.
No idea what
that's
that
good.
All right.
I have to ask too, on the North End, do you go to are you a Stanza guy at all? It's a little cigar action.
I haven't. I've been, but I'm not regular there. No, I usually have 2 cigars a year. It's one's usually on a random night out, usually during the Stanley Cup playoffs. The last month of the season, I usually travel for about almost a month straight between the Eastern Final and the Stanley Cup, and inevitably or invariably one night there's some beverages involved and a cigar comes out, and I'm like, yeah, of course, and I like it. And then usually once a year on a golf course, a golf outing or something. I like them. I don't know. I used to smoke them more. I just don't smoke them more the last decade or so. But I got nothing against it. A few years ago during the playoffs, in fact, I think we were there with some of the Hockey Night in Canada guys.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Also,
Yeah.
one random question. I'm just like, do you go, like, when it comes to playoffs, are you always going to be with NESN, or like if the Bruins lose, then do you switch to NHL Network? How does that work?
No, I do. So I do every first round game for NESN and the Bruins. Even if it's not on NESN, we do pre and post.
Yeah.
It's called wraparound programming. Even like, let's say TNT or ESPN takes the game, but we do a full. Then after that, I will still do some NESN, but I will also do some NHL Network. And then as the playoffs go on further, I'm part of the NHL. It's called Sports USA. It's the national radio telecast of the game. I'm part of the three guys crew that does it. And so I'll be part of that, but I really want to be, do a lot of the NESN stuff too. But there are other things, NHL Network wants me to do stuff, NESN and Sports USA. So I have to figure it all out. But I love the guys at NESN. They're some of my, dear friends. I've been with them, and it's fun, But on the other hand, there's also other stuff that I got to do too, from contract wise,
fulfill responsibilities.
It's good to be a wanted man.
Yeah.
This is your season right now. It's game
This
time.
is my busy season. Usually from February, March is chaos because I do college and NHL, and then it slows down a little bit once I get through, let's say early mid-April. And then you just get into the rhythm of the NHL playoffs. And then it's the rhythm of the playoffs, but then I'm gone an awful lot because of the responsibilities for NHL Network and Sports USA.
Yeah.
I'm a golf guy, so like after the playoffs happen, like where's your favorite place to golf around here? Couple, 2, 3.
Unfortunately, the last couple of years I've been banged up, and I really haven't been able to golf much. And I do love golf. When I lived in Atlanta, I would play. Now Thrashers sucked, so we wouldn't have an off season. I worked for I don't know if you guys remember the Versus Sports Network. Versus,
nice.
I was part of the national crew for them, so I would
nice.
go out doing stuff. But I would play 60 to 70 rounds during the summer, which I know for some people that's like normal. But for me, I wouldn't finish working until May, and then I would start playing golf, and it was awesome. And I would play 4 days a week, no problem, in the morning. Now that I've got kids and living here in Boston area, I just haven't had as much time. I've had a couple of surgeries the last few years, so the body's been out of whack. I've got friends that belong to some places around here that I'll go play, and I love them. But I would like to join a club. It's just I need to figure out if it's worth the amount of value I'm going to get out of it, because if I only play 6 rounds a year,
not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you need to be able to get out there.
I like to browse around too. I don't like to go to one course all the time. I don't know, name a couple. Pine Hills is a nice one. Granite Links up there.
Granite Links is great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I played there a handful of times.
Yeah, we're right down the street from there. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Crossing Nines.
Crossing Nines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't golf, but yeah, I'll go. If Billy says if Billy says we're golfing with them, I'll learn to golf.
Well, I got to see. I've had some back issues and having hip issues now, and shoulder had to get redone, or not redone. I ripped it apart last year. So all fun stuff. Whatever.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah, get well, my friend.
I will. I'll get better.
To close it out, overall prediction for the Bruins finish here? I mean, it's got to be cup or bust, right?
Yeah, I have a hard time based on what I've seen visualizing somebody beating them in a 7-game series. That's not cocky. That's not being arrogant. That's just being what I think is factual in the sense of analytical.
Well, you've seen.
Yeah.
And I think that and this is the big if, capital I, capital F, they're healthy-ish, they're never going to be 100%, but they're healthy, and they don't change what they are, right? If they don't, I have a hard time seeing a team beat them. I could see a Boston, Colorado final, how juicy would a Boston Vegas final be?
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
That's what we want.
The coaches, Cassidy, Montgomery.
War with Cassidy.
I mean, that would be
Unbelievable.
script written for itself for the whole thing. But listen, I'm confident in this team. I don't think that we have any reason not to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to root for them. I am. I hope they do, because this has been a special season. I don't want it to be ruined if they don't win the cup, because, is what you said, the cup is so hard to win.
Mhm.
But I understand that people want to see them win the cup. I do. If they stay the course, I think they got a good chance.
Yeah, I don't care about this points record as long as you can hoist that.
No.
Lord
Nah,
Stanley,
no,
you know.
Stay healthy.
They've had a great season. You don't need to overdo it. Sit these guys last couple of weeks. Get back
Well,
to
they'll
neutral.
play. They're going to
Yeah.
play them. You don't want to sit them too much at the
Yeah,
end. They're
yeah.
going to play a few guys and get the team ready, and then they're ready. Look, they're going to start either Monday or Tuesday, the 17th or 18th. But so they don't want guys not having played a game, let's say, for a week or 8 days.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice and fresh. Keep them
Yeah.
nice and fresh.
Yeah, especially with the back-to-backs that I think they have the last 5 weekends.
We got
of the
2 left.
season. Yeah,
2
two
back-to-backs
left. Yeah.
left.
I haven't seen so many matinees. I mean, last weekend it was, Saturday at 1 and then it was Sunday at 5. That was
Yeah,
just,
the weekend before was
crazy.
like the same thing.
Yeah, it was great. It's great for fans watching it, but I'm sure the players kind of get, your whole weekend's gone kind of.
It's a different.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different feel. No
Yep.
question. Yeah, no question.
We're due for a parade. We need the fun. We need the duck boats.
That would
back
be
up.
fun.
It's time.
Yes, that would-
Well, I can't gruel another Game 7 loss in the Stanley Cup.
No, that'll hurt.
Oh, that one hurt.
That was depressing.
That one hurt.
That was depressing. And the old saying, the sun will come out tomorrow. The problem is, after that St. Louis loss, the sun didn't come out. It was
No.
raining. It was a miserable day. I think everybody was in an absolute. It was beyond the malaise. I don't know what that was. That was like, holy smokes. I remember we went out for some drinks, my wife and I, and with another couple after that game and after work was done. And it was a school night, right? Like, I got kids, but I think we still went out till almost 2 a.m, just like, what just happened?
Oh.
And then, I couldn't imagine being a player. I couldn't, I mean, these guys are sitting in the locker room in their gear for hours because they're so bummed. I mean, I couldn't imagine being that.
Oh, I know, especially like Bergeron, like the leader. Like, how do you get and one of the best leaders like ever? Like, how do you get the team up after that? Like, where do you go from there? That must have
there's
been
no-
torturous. Yeah, exactly. It's just awful.
But hey, it's part of the sport, right?
Mm-hmm.
Positive vibes only. Positive vibes.
Yeah, we're
Let's
on to
get-
this
right.
year. We're on to this year.
Let's get those sad feelings out of here.
Yeah.
We're gonna win.
Yeah, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Take the cake. Billy, appreciate you coming on, man. Best of luck with everything going forward. We'll be watching.
All right, guys,
Yep.
be well. Thanks for
You too.
having me. All right, keep
Anytime.
having fun. Keep drinking your coffee.
Yeah.
Get your softball shape ready.
We'll see what happens
Yeah,
with that.
mid-season form.
We'll
Yeah,
see you at the
excellent.
parade. All right.
Yep.
All right, love it. See you guys.
See
See
ya.
ya.
Nice. The new year is almost here, and if you're looking to shed off some holiday pounds before beach season, well, look no further and head on down to Slight Edge Fitness Performance, located at 101 French Avenue in Braintree, Massachusetts. Owned and operated by our guy, Quincy legend, Craig Kelly. You will be assured that you are getting the best training around. They believe in only the highest standards of physical fitness training and have been leading the charge at their state-of-the-art fitness facility since 2020. Their staff is actively enriching the lives of members and creating a community of like-minded people who love being healthy and strong. They're helping you to get in shape and teaching you how to maintain your health and fitness. Group fitness classes as well as one-on-one personal training sessions are available. Make sure to visit slightedgefit.com and also follow them on Instagram at slightedgefitness and set up a consultation today. If you're looking to get back in shape or trying to get a slight edge on the competition, this gym is for you. Check out Slight Edge Fitness and Performance, located at 101 French Avenue in Braintree, Massachusetts, and tell them the boys from Steele Nazz sent you. We're now joined by our favorite lawyer here, Patrick J. Foley from the law office of Patrick J. Foley. Got that right? Nailed it. A little closer to the microphone. I think you got it.
Doesn't bite.
Did you notice the brand new mics, Pat?
Business is good, huh?
Business is
Yeah.
Boom
Uncle
it.
Bob bought them
Boom
for
it.
us.
Thanks, Uncle Bob.
good. Fresh off the Billy Jaffe interview, we'll just dive into it right away. Patrick has a big fundraiser coming this Saturday. JJ Foleys 7 p.m. Saturday. Want to tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely, buddy. So every year from 2009 to 2019, we always did a charity benefit fundraiser. I ran the marathon those years, and you always had to raise money and stuff with the number. So I got the number. I just chose to raise money, do a big fundraiser, a big event, and there's usually a charity I got to pick, and it was something that was close to myself and my family. At the time, my brother Jerry, who you guys all know, he just joined the Marine Corps. So we did then. We raised money for all the troops overseas if they needed, care packages, whatever it was, magazines, whatever they need.
Yeah,
they boxed up and sent it.
You
to
name
them,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Because a kid like Jerry, obviously he had a big family, a ton of friends. Like he would get that stuff, but there was kids over that didn't get a thing.
Yeah.
So it was important that we did that, and then it just catched on like wildfire. So we did it. Care packs for troops. We did things for the Fisher House, which is for veterans and their families. We did Children's Hospital. We did Mass General Cancer Center. We had a family member that got sick for a little bit. For Children's Hospital, I had a friend. His daughter was going through some issues at the time. We did Quincy Special Needs Baseball this year, Project Deep. We've been doing it for years and years. And we've raised close to $400,000
Unbelievable.
for all those
Unreal.
things. And it's just a great night out. It's almost, like a Quincy reunion, an Archie's reunion, Foley family reunion, Bond reunion, but all these people that we grew up with all come back. And we haven't done it since 19. We were going to do it in 20. And I made the decision going into 2020. It was going to be the last year doing it. I feel 11 years was more than enough. We accomplished a lot of good. And then we all know what happened March of 2020.
Yeah.
The world basically shut down.
End of the world.
And at the time, I went to the group and said, at some point, we'll do this. In my head, at some point is, maybe late spring, early summer, we're going to be back doing this event.
Down the
And
line. Yeah.
at some point led into 20, end of 20, into 21, into 22. And now I'm thinking at some point, I'm never getting to do this. And I just felt this year was the time to do it.
Mhm.
I could have done it, I think, over those years, but I wasn't going to do it, at half capacity. I wasn't going to do it,
Yeah, you got to be standing up.
checking people's
Yeah.
vaccine cards and making
Yeah.
sure people's a mess. And I sure as hell wasn't doing it on Zoom.
No,
hell
fuck
no.
no,
Right.
fuck
But
no.
we saw people doing like the virtual fun. That if I'm gonna do it, we're gonna
right.
do
We're
it.
gonna be
do it
there.
right.
Yeah,
We're gonna do it 1,000%. We're not gonna half-ass it. We're gonna full-ass
Yeah.
that.
absolutely.
So we're back. I'm really pumped up. We have a lot of great prizes. Saturday night with DJ Food. All good people.
Who's the DJ?
DJ Dave, baby from Braintree.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
DJ Dave.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's let it rip.
I was kidding around with somebody today about you've really made it in your profession when you can put your first name and your profession after it, and people know who you are. DJ Dave, Nam the
That's what it's all
Taylor,
about.
Sean the Barber, like people know who
Bang.
you are.
Sean
Yeah.
the Bible, bang. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an easy one. What kind of prizes will should people come and be expecting?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a trip to Vegas.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, Magic.
I like that one.
Jackpot, baby.
I like that one.
Trip to Vegas. We got Morgan Wallen tickets.
Ooh.
All the sports teams. Game 1, Celtics tickets, whatever that is, that playoff
Yeah.
game.
Ooh.
Bruins, Red Sox. The Red Sox by giveaway.
Yeah.
Bunch of restaurant gift cards, like liquor baskets.
Mhm.
Shoot, we got a scratch ticket prize
Like
there.
bag prize. Yeah.
Giving away a Bitcoin?
No Bitcoin this year, buddy.
No
That
Bitcoin.
took our Tommy B divorce, so we can't be having that. Bad karma, bad luck. Yeah, and so we got and we have all sorts of cosmetic stuff for the females out there and magic. You want a little Botox?
Summer's coming, buddy.
Little blow dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can hear Botox. We got something for
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
there. It's a great environment. It's like a big party. 7 till whenever.
Whatever is right. JJ Foleys, you know what time it is.
When the
Yeah,
doors are shut, it's still open.
that's right,
That's
buddy.
not true.
Yeah,
That's
so
not true.
So I'm really looking forward. Now I gotta figure out how to do a race in 2 weeks.
I was
too.
gonna say, how's the hamstrings feeling for the 26.2?
Hamstring's great. The hip,
Yeah.
I don't know so
The
much.
hip.
I think next year's fundraiser might be for my hip replacement surgery.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not a bad game.
Still running down Adams Street though. Still getting ready.
Yeah, it's slower though. You notice it's like I'm a game manager now.
So you've done it every year since you said 2011?
Done it every year since 2006. We
2006.
started raising the money in 09. So 06, then I didn't do it last year. Went to the Red Sox game. Actually, I never got.
Why'd
to
you
go
take a year off? What made
what's
you?
that?
What made you want to take that?
I was tired. I was beat up. And I just did it in October too. They did this crazy
True.
October.
Yeah,
one.
why didn't you do it that day?
I'm not a marathon runner.
Yeah, it's coming at me. As soon as
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm just
A
curious.
year off,
and,
man.
and it's funny because I never went to the Red Sox Patriots Day game ever. So last year,
That's good to attend.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to go to that this year.
So last year, come out and cheer for me after. So last year I was there. We did it, and after a couple beverages and probably 11, 12 beers, I started texting me, I'm not a spectator. I'm doing this again next year. I woke up the next day, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh boy.
Here we go again.
Whoops.
Here we go again.
Coming back for number 16.
Yeah, I gotta start trading today.
Oh man. No, we'll give it our best shot.
How's business doing?
absolutely.
How's business going? Good.
Business, in spite of everything you hear in the news and how bad real estate, they say all the
housing and
negativity,
whatnot.
we're still rolling.
Rolling.
We're doing good. It's all
Recession, the Foley law office knows nothing
good.
about it.
Recession proof, right?
Yeah.
Put the
Recession-proof.
blinders on, keep going. But I think that's a credit to how hard we work and how we just the job we do, and we just get out there, we network, we try to meet as many people as possible, and like I've always said, anything you do in life, especially like business or anything, if I could turn it into a hustle game where it comes down to working hard, I'm not gonna lose.
Well said.
Love
I like
that.
that.
Hell yeah.
I like
Determination. Is that so? You have a newer spot? Might have said it on the last time you came, but
Yeah,
where's
we're
it
opening
located?
it the last time.
Oh,
we
you're
were there.
opening,
Yeah,
okay.
but we're there now. We could do a satellite broadcast. It's so big up there one day.
Oh,
We
wow.
could get you guys up
Let's
there.
do that.
Road game.
Yeah,
love
road
it.
game.
Love it.
we love road games.
Love to do a road game there.
We're 2-0.
Where is it?
265 Willow Street. Actually, I was able to drive here in about 2 minutes because you just get right there, right on the highway.
Hell yeah.
Bang.
It's right by Mary Lou's and Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we took the whole second floor over. We did a whole build out. It's been amazing. It just good teams should get a new stadium, right?
Can't miss
That's it.
that
That's
sign
it,
when you
baby.
drive by, right? The nice new sign up front. You can't miss that when you drive by.
Hype
yeah.
man over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice new sign. Yeah, we got it. It looks beautiful. It's I'm really happy. I'm really excited. It really took a lot of hard work to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But now the most important thing is be able to keep it, and maintain it, which I'm confident we'll be able to do.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Hell yeah. We'll give you the floor. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about tonight with the Patriots. Could Celtics got the Final Four coming around? What are you digging your teeth most into right now?
No, dude, football. We were just talking before we came on. The Lamar talk's hot. There's something weird going on Foxborough. These press conferences with Kraft and Belichick.
They're very weird.
About all of a sudden they're asking Kraft about Belichick's win totals. We're not about stats.
Yeah.
That's weird. Meek Millwing and
Yeah, that was the most bizarre thing I've heard. And then there's reports that
was
came out
awesome.
today that the Patriots aren't in on Lamar Jackson. Not a fan of that at all. I think he would change his franchise right around. Obviously, the whole money thing is definitely the issue because that's what the Patriots like. That's how they found out not to get anyone because it comes down all about money. But if you're talking about what you said before you came on here, next year, first round pick, Mac Jones for Lamar Jackson. That's every single day of the week for me. I think he's a former MVP of the league,
no-brainer.
game changer. I think he would bring you right to title
You could
contention.
throw in another guy in there for all like.
I would even
get
do
Mac out of
I
it.
would do a third. I'd do a first, a third.
Because we have
And
picks,
Mac.
so yeah, you can. You can
But
mess
here's the thing:
around.
is I don't want to mess around with this year's picks because Bill is actually starting to nail the draft again.
Yes.
I want to use our picks.
Mhm.
We got it. We know we're getting younger. We have to continue to get younger. So if we could somehow maybe do next year's first, thinking that Lamar comes in, plays good ball, we're picking later in the first round. I'd be all for that. And it's funny, I was anti Lamar up to a month ago, and as more of this is played out, I'm like, all right, I can see this.
I just think
Yeah,
it's
because it
game
became
changer.
like more real and real. Because at first it was like Lamar Jackson, like
Baltimore's
I
gonna
don't
give
know.
him money
like
and it's gonna be all
no
set.
way, yeah.
Yeah, once Meek Mill got involved, I mean, it's pretty much a done deal.
Right, I'm sitting
Meek
there.
Mill and Robert Kraft are like, they're guys. They're guys.
Prison reform buddies.
That being a real headline's just so funny.
Meek-
that
Meek
being
Mill
a real
waited.
thing.
We
Who
have
broke,
to-
who
we
broke
have
the
to ask
story?
Bill-
Meek
we have to ask
Mill.
Bill though.
Yeah.
But
Bill's got to go too.
The other
while we're
weird,
at
the
it.
other weird part Kraft came always he goes, anytime Bill's ever come and asked me for more money, I've given it to him.
Yeah.
So it's all they're butting heads or
Yeah.
something's going on.
I think the realization
maybe
is
Bill's the problem. Tom and Bill butt heads. Now he's butting heads with Rob.
it's all about the Don Shula record. I feel like he's gonna let him go until he breaks it. whether they want to come out. They don't tell us shit ever.
How many more wins
Yeah.
does he
It's
need to
30.
get there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
30.
third-
It's,
it's at least-
You look at potentially 3 years.
it's several
think-
years anyway.
3,
Oh,
4.
fuck.
Yeah. So
I
that's a
don't know.
lot.
I'm over Bill personally.
Seems
but
like they got their successor, maybe Gerard Mayo, unless he again if
Joe
they.
Judge, assistant head coach.
Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Ugh. Yeah, but on the front, I like Juju Smith-Schuster signing. You like that?
It seems like we have like 4 number 2s.
Yeah, that's like every year.
I mean, I don't think he's that much of an upgrade over Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
No, yeah, they're borderline the
Would
same
have liked
thing.
to see them get Hopkins. I don't think that's going to happen. Odell Beckham seems to be going to the Jets, which, I mean, the Jets are about to be pull 180. Looks like they're going to be a pretty good damn team this year.
Is the A-Rod trade happening? Like,
Yeah, who still doesn't have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. It is the Jets, so they could fumble that.
No, the more that goes, like,
The
the
longer-
more that's not happening.
The longer it drags on.
Yeah. Because, like, that guy's a loser, and it's a loser franchise. Like, they'll both crumble.
But here's the funny thing with him: it's if you're the Jets, he's such a flake. He could come in for you for a year and be like, I'm all set. I'm
Oh,
retired.
100. Yeah, you like, giving him, like, years would be nuts.
Right, but he'd even give up like a first-round pick for him.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee who the quarterback will be if Aaron Rodgers somehow that doesn't go out.
Who?
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz will be the Jets quarterback.
Recycle it. They'll bring him in August. We can't.
He'd make a great Jet.
Fresh out of the bullpen. Fresh out of the
That'd be
bullpen.
sick.
The him versus Zach Wilson competition would be must
Heating
watch
up,
TV.
on fire.
Did you guys see that? It was an interview. It came up the day Aaron Rodgers said he wanted to go to the Jets. It was Zach Wilson at the end of his end of the year press conference. They're asking him, like, hey, if they bring in a veteran to compete with you, how's it going to go? He's like, he's going to have a bad day every day.
Yeah. It was like, all right, man.
He better be ready to compete.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what Zach needs. Someone to make him work for his job.
Yeah, you were
Right,
just like
exactly,
the
right.
worst QB in history. Like, congrats.
It's like
man. I'm
that
sure they're
that guy
scared.
from Taken. Good luck.
Yeah.
What about has Matty Ryan retired yet?
They cut him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be done.
We don't want. We don't want.
He
Matt
doesn't
Ryan.
have anything left.
He doesn't bring anything here.
I think we have all the quarterbacks we need, unless you want to add Lamar.
Yeah.
I just don't have good expectations for the Patriots. You have 3 teams in your own division. If they get Rodgers, that are probably better than you, with Miami, the Jets, and the Bills. So
even if we get Lamar. Or
oh
that
no, if
changes
we get
things?
Lamar, it changes things definitely. But if you got the roster you got right now, tough times ahead.
If we get Lamar with that top 5 defense, I mean, you're at least in the conversation for the AFC Championship.
Definitely, no question. That's why I think it would be such a stellar move, but they're just not. It's not Patriot-like. They're not going to do
But
it.
the other funny thing is, but also I think Kraft hates not being in the center of the NFL universe anymore. There was 2 things that drove him nuts. Number one is it seemed very low key at the time, was getting flexed out of that Sunday night game at the end of the season.
Oh yeah,
that pissed
that
him
got
off. The game in Vegas that now we're getting flexed out of money, and I think they replaced it with like the Redskins and the Giants.
Yeah, it was
And
something like
a
NFC
17
clash.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they were
was
both
tough.
in playoff contention.
Mhm.
And also it's they're on at 1:00 every week now. You're in NFL purgatory right now.
Yeah. Welcome
I mean,
to
I
the Jets
like
and
I like
Jaguars
the 1
life.
o'clock games, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I get that's not. It's
And
not prime time.
And so
for
I think
sure.
if Kraft thinks by making a move like this, he can jolt them back into the center of the NFL universe again, or the topic of conversation, he's going to do it all day. I mean, but even look at kids and stuff walking around right now. How many Patriots jerseys do you see right now?
Not as much as you did the last 20 years.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's no one that's like on the team. It's like Brady or
Right.
something.
Brady,
Like,
Edelman, Gronk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all Bruins jerseys now. People walking around Bruins jerseys.
Damn right, best team. in hockey.
Respectfully.
we're a fair weather city. We go where the winds are.
No, we
Yeah.
want the cup.
But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be shocked if they made that move. It would definitely be a Kraft trying to jolt things up. He's also 80 years old. Is he?
Yeah, I would love the jolt though. I would. I'm all in.
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Jackson.
I would love, yeah.
He was. I remember we went to a game when he played. It might have been his Heisman year. He played BC. Remember what? It was 45-0 at halftime. We're like, this guy's gonna be the next
Right.
stud in the NFL.
People forget too. They looked hard at him coming out too.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels had him down in Foxborough. Was like working him out. Like
You know who they got instead? I'm pretty sure they got in Kill Harry
Kill Harry number 32.
instead of Lamar Jackson. Lamar would. He was the first, whatever it was, 32nd, 33rd pick. They were all right
Baltimore traded back up.
Yeah.
To get him.
And we could have got him right there.
We're third. I
Disgusting.
think Nikhil was 31. Who just got cut by the Bears, by the way.
Yeah. True.
Looking for employment.
So I mean,
Loser.
you saying Belichick's had good drafts? That was his last bad pick, I think.
I mean, look at last year. I mean,
It's the last bad one that like
Last-
mattered
yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Here's a guy who historically liked the redshirt guys for a year. He had 6 or 7 rookies actually in the rotation playing last year.
Oh, they were unbelievable.
I mean,
both
you got
Joneses.
You get
yeah.
Strange, Strange is going to be a guard for the next 10 years. Thornton showed more in a couple games, and here he showed you in 3 years here.
Yeah, he's going to get some more hair on his chest. Yeah.
The two Joneses.
Yep.
And you had Zappy, who actually played he could be a good backup for you.
I loved Zappy. Loved him.
And the kid Pierre Strong.
Pierre Strong was good.
Yeah.
And you're going to need him this year with the backups.
And the other kid, Harris, the other running back. I mean,
Yep,
so they're
Kevin
all
Harris.
contributed.
Yeah.
And then you go the year before that, you had Mac, Barrymore, Stevenson, who was the best player on the team.
Best player on the team.
And then the year before that, you had Uche and Duggar. So he knows what he's doing.
It's getting there, yeah.
Remember when they picked Duggar and they're like, Renoy Ryan? Like, who is this kid? He takes plays off, but I mean, when he's at his best, he's one of the best safeties in football.
Oh, yeah. Cracks people.
Yeah.
We probably could have gone to the second round, but probably could. That was a COVID pick because everything shut down, but we were the only team that were able to work him out.
That's true.
Or one of the only teams.
Yeah. Love that.
Exactly right.
You watch any of the NCAA tournament?
I did. What do you think of that foul call Sunday afternoon? Yeah.
Puke.
Oh.
Disgraceful.
What was the game?
It was
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
And Creighton.
I had San Diego State winning that game.
Oh, is that why you were real quiet about that foul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
How about Rick Pitino landing on his feet? Couldn't happen to a nicer man, huh?
Yeah, back in action.
What a redemption story.
What team's he coaching?
St. John's, good Catholic institution. He's a good moral character guy.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there and just teach the Lord's way to the kids.
And then the Foley Dickinson guy, the guy 16 seed upset over Purdue, takes his job out of Iona.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, they were saying though, Iona's built to be a really good team next year. He's got
some experience now.
Rick Pitino is coaching at Iona.
Yeah,
he was last year. This year, actually, I took them in the first round as an upset.
Oh,
right?
boy.
Yeah, for UConn.
Oh wow. And UConn's here.
Yeah, you made a big mistake on that one. UConn looks hot.
Yeah, UConn's my pick to win.
Steele's two favorite teams are playing each other in the Final Four.
Oh boy,
it is. It's
Miami,
big.
UConn.
It's win-win kinda because whoever wins is winning it all. Let's be real here.
It's been a
Steele,
cool.
ride the wave.
Yeah, it's been
Ride
a cool
the wave.
tournament.
I'm an Aztec champion myself.
I'd be with
the Aztecs are not losing this.
I'd be with you if it wasn't those two teams. I'm not with you. I'm sorry.
They're a physical team. They're big boys.
And then Cooley from Providence took the Georgetown job, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a scumbag. I guess he was already selling his house before the season even ended.
So he knew he was going there.
Yeah, but he had a tournament and everything, and he's been there for all these years. I guess it was a tough breakup.
Because it was also because right when that became available, they're like, well, Pitino might go there instead of St. John's.
Yeah.
And my nephew's at Providence, and he was getting all fight Rick Pitino coming to Providence.
Does he play?
No, he's a junior. He
It was a great school.
But he's a young kid, so he didn't know all the Pitino baggage.
Yeah.
So we had a nice little chat about Rick Pitino and all this. He's like, you could see him as a 20-year-old kid's jaws just dropped. Like, oh, at Louisville, they had this going on. And
He was like, wow.
Maybe we want him to go to Providence.
Yeah. Yeah. Road game.
It's been a sick because all the 1 seeds were out before the Elite Eight. FAU, they have 3 losses all year. This FAU team, Magic San Diego State team is going to be going up against them. Think about that. Beginning of the tournament, if you were to say San Diego State is going to play Florida Atlantic University in the Final Four,
no chance.
Like Miami, UConn, 2 big programs, but that other side, can't believe one of those teams is going to play in the.
I don't have to look at my
championship game.
bracket. I had FAU losing in the first round.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000,000%.
The only thing
I don't
we
know
missed-
who they played. I definitely did.
The only thing we miss right now is if FAU in the Final Four, if Lane Kiffin was still the coach there for football, Lane would be living it up.
Oh,
down there.
living
Yeah,
it
he'd
up.
be
Lane
going
at the
nuts.
Final Four.
Be chirping, especially if it was Miami interstate.
Yeah.
He'd be going nuts.
Miami
Where
versus
is
FAU.
Yeah.
Is that FAU in Miami?
Florida Atlantic's in Florida, sir.
No, but
what part?
where though?
I think Boca.
Boca.
Oh, so close to Miami.
No, if you get a Florida championship, that'd be nuts.
Yeah. Possible.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
really
literally like
The 2 dogs,
Right
in the,
there.
2 dogs in the games.
UConn hasn't played a close game yet in the tournament.
No, I
They've
just
massacred all 4 teams.
This one will be tight, I think.
they should be. They're
could be.
They're the clear favorite in the money, the
Oh yeah,
books,
they should be. Yeah.
and they definitely should be.
Yeah.
Um.
Doesn't mean you win though. It's
Yeah.
March Madness.
Yeah. It is. Kansas is gone.
Isaiah Wong's a
Purdue's
baller.
been long
What's the
gone.
spread?
FAU is underdogs to San Diego State by 1.5 points.
Okay, basically a push.
So yeah, I'm taking FAU in that game. San Diego State. Both teams have been good down the stretch. Absolutely no analysis at all. You guys have just been holding on watching these games. UConn favored by 5.5 points over Miami.
5.5.
That's a lot of points. I think that's going to come
Go
down.
the other way.
Miami's a team of just shooters, full of some dogs.
Two great coaches,
Larinaga
too.
has been there
Two
forever.
great coaches.
Yeah, Hurley from URI coaching UConn, probably his third year. Great coach there.
Larinaga is the coach of Miami, right?
Yep.
So that should be an amazing.
Yeah, I
game.
kind of wish they were like Miami was playing FAU, San Diego State was playing U. You kind of want to see. I want to see the Miami UConn.
Guys can watch at Foley Saturday night.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
we'll be there.
We'll have it
we'll
off
be
of the
there.
event.
Oh, yeah.
Final Four too.
Damn right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Let's go. Baseball starting tomorrow. You care about that at all?
What?
Wait, opening day?
Opening
tomorrow.
That you can still get
Opening
tickets
day
for this
tomorrow.
year. Opening tickets are still available.
Oh wow. Not going.
No,
42 degrees out supposed to be tomorrow.
no, all set.
Fuck that.
I will say I am pretty excited about the guy Masataka Yoshida. I think he's having a good
Yeah,
year.
it sucked how good he was in that.
He hit.
Hated it.
I know it was spring training game, but he hit like a 430-foot bomb the other day. He's he's got to be my height. Like it was inspiring to see.
Nice.
It's good to see.
Here you are out of softball shape.
Over under 79.5 wins. I think I'm going over.
Over.
I'm going over.
Yeah.
Maybe still last place, but I'm going.
I have no. I don't even
81,
know who's
81,
on
and
the team.
500 last
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
You see that?
Thinking 81 and 81.
More wins than the Orioles.
Yeah.
You
What-
guarantee that?
Yeah, I guarantee we're going to be better than the Orioles. That catcher's good, though.
Yeah, put some milk on it. Put some milk on
I'll
it.
put some milk on it. All right, milk
They-
challenge.
And you got to pour it on your head this time.
They weren't
Yeah.
horrible last year, Baltimore.
No, they're young. They might be good.
What's
Well, you
this?
have the first pick every year for.
Yeah, exactly.
At some
It
point.
just
Eventually
takes a
be
while
good.
because baseball, it takes like 8 years to get into the fucking.
You guys
league.
got Frenchie Cordero today. He's a
Sick.
player, bad 480, got cut by the Orioles. Was so good the Yankees signed him.
I bet you he's
Oh,
better
but-
than Aaron Hicks.
They're kind of similar.
I bet you he's
They're
better
like
than Aaron Hicks.
both can hit 100 and like probably like 20 jacks each.
When Aaron Hicks is in the opening day lineup tomorrow, I'm gonna throw my phone into the street. I'm gonna be so mad.
What's wrong with the Celtics? Celtics
Nothing.
can't figure it
Just
out.
Nothing.
Just waiting for the playoffs.
Beating the Bucks tomorrow. Get ready.
They had a chance. They had a chance last night to start their little tandem towards the 1 seed because one seed is going to be big. If you got to play Milwaukee more than you at home when it comes to an Eastern Conference Finals, you drop an absolute L to Washington, who had no one playing last night, lost by 20 plus. Seems like they've been playing 500 basketball.
Yeah,
the last
what
3 or
happened
4
last
weeks.
night? I didn't see the game, and like I just saw the score and was
It
like,
was just
holy shit,
it was
we
just
got
chaos.
killed.
I mean, they haven't really played good defense all year. They live and die off the 3 like any other team in the NBA.
Mm.
But I think they emphasize that a lot more than other teams do. Just the defense was a lot more sound last year. Now you're only seeing it from the guys who are defense based first. I'm not a big fan of the Celtics team. I don't think there's a lot of. I think you're gonna see a disappointing ending to these playoffs for them.
What do you think? A second round?
I think second round. I think they can. I'm getting more convinced that Philly can beat them in a 7
Oh my god, I
series.
can't wait till he eats these words.
But that's the crazy.
You fucking fool.
Yeah, you idiot.
They don't show up.
Like, when will you learn? Philly, the fact you just said that, clip that right now.
Yeah.
You really just said Philly's gonna
There's
beat
no
them.
challenge, but I'm pouring milk on your
Philly's
head
playing
when we
pretty
beat
damn
Philly.
Yeah,
good.
he's getting milked for that.
And
And not in a good way.
Embiid's probably the best big man in basketball. I don't know, man.
They're just
Yeah,
very
yeah.
inconsistent.
He has been the best big
Yeah,
man
he
in basketball.
was all those other times we played them.
Best regular season, big man.
Yeah,
He
well,
ain't, they're not an issue, and I don't think anything will be an issue till the fucking
Bucks.
I'm telling you
Bucks.
right now, if it somehow becomes the Celtics versus the Heat in the first round, look out, because that Jimmy Butler is a bad man. That team obviously gave them problems last year. I know they were better in the regular season last year, but that could be a 6 or 7 game series out of the chute. You end up making this, NBA playoffs longer than it should be. I mean, obviously the 08 guys pulled out in like
Knicks too. I
last
think
7
we'd
games.
still win, but that'd be a tough series.
Yeah,
They're gritty.
Knicks
They're
give 'em
gritty. Like we get
problems.
hurt.
What
like,
are
they're gritty,
the
you know what I
Miami
mean?
series last year?
Is there any easy?
We almost blew that game 7. Didn't
Yeah,
we?
Jimmy Butler, if he hit that 3 at the end,
Jimmy's
they go
scary.
home.
Yeah,
I don't.
Jimmy-
I
it
never
rimmed
like
out.
playing Jimmy.
And it rimmed out.
Yeah, I was ready to just like end it. Like
Is
when
there
he threw
any-
up that shot, it was like Jimmy just ended the
Is there
series. I
any
thought it was
easy
going.
first round team that we would want?
Brooklyn.
most?
We want Brooklyn. We
Yeah,
want Brooklyn.
Brooklyn stinks.
Bro-
Is it looking like we can get Brooklyn?
Brooklyn's
right now?
the 6th seed right
It's
now by a
possible.
half game over Miami.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
They're arranging. themselves.
Toronto, I think,
Yeah.
would beat them pretty good. Atlanta has 2 good players. I'm not saying they can beat the Celtics, but I'm telling you right now, if the first round is Miami versus Boston, expect a long series there because that could be tough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm telling you, I
But
think
that ain't Philly. I didn't say Philly. I never said Miami is an issue. Jay Butt is an issue. Jay Butts, whatever his nickname is. He's an issue.
Philly's a good team, man.
Philly's
getting
not an
better.
issue.
I'm still taking the Celtics over Philly, but it could be pretty damn.
You're backtracking
I don't
pretty
know,
quick.
Regardless, I don't think they're winning the ship. I don't get ship vibe.
I don't
from
think they
them
can
right
beat the
now.
Bucks. I think the Bucks are on a
think out
different
West?
level this year.
That's crazy.
West is a coin flip. You know,
Yeah, it really is.
it's going to be a team that gets hot at the right time. And you have Golden State right there. You got Phoenix with Kevin Durant right there. I don't believe in this whole Denver Magic. I think they're going to go home early like they do every year.
West Coast 76ers. That's
Not
all
even
they
going
are.
to talk about the Lakers because they're pretty irrelevant. I think
Kings.
they're
But you
nine
look at
seed.
the game history, the 10 seed, like the 4, like this separation.
It's like
It's like a game and a half. Yeah. Like
Dallas has been so funny. I'm a big Luka guy, but Kyrie Irving coming in, making that culture all bad again. Looks like he's going to leave at the end of the year. And
think
you
he'll
can
be-
like not be good, but with Luca, like can you not even like make the play? Like
He-
they're not even in the play.
he had
right
45
now.
the
They're
other
like a
night
game out.
against.
But
They got swept against
That's
the
terrible.
Hornets last weekend in a home and home. I think Doncic had 40 points in both games and they lost.
like
Okay.
that's crazy.
Do you think teams will just not fucking like hire him anymore?
His-
Is it getting close to that
his
point?
stock- no.
He's a disease.
No, but his stock's
Someone will
definitely going
always-
lower. Someone will, yeah, you're right.
He
Yeah.
needs to end up in fucking Charlotte, and maybe then he'll talk.
That's
a little
why those
differently.
teams
He
exist.
needs
like the
he needs
Atlanta
to be
Hawks
in
or
a
something.
basement team,
Yep.
Best,
and he needs to learn some humble. He needs
Yeah.
to learn how to play basketball again, and not
Yeah.
whatever he's doing.
Be-
Stick them in Utah.
best story of the NBA
No, they're
by
too good.
far this year, Sacramento
I think, I don't
Kings, Mike Brown.
The Kings.
Yeah, Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, unreal.
De'Aaron Fox. I think they're a 3 seed right now.
Yep.
They haven't made the playoffs since like 06.
Love
They've
that.
had 2 back-to-back games to like clinch the playoff spot, and they've lost them. Sadly,
Yeah.
You know,
no
like,
light in the beam.
no, like
light in
they
the
will
beam.
fold early, but it's a good,
They're
good,
getting
good
there.
watch. Memphis, see what John Morant does coming back here, and
Yeah, what a bug.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Psychopath.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Could you help him out, Pat?
Nice.
Would you take him on as a client?
Sports agent client.
Yeah, that would work well.
Yeah.
That's a great avenue right there.
Yeah,
We're gonna get Pat Foley up and running as a sports agent
Jerry Maguire.
within the next year or two.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry
What a
Maguire, I
movie
think
that
you'd be
is, huh?
I think you'd be great at it. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. I never thought of it. I didn't know they were so related. But you already get the law side down.
Every idea needs a seed, bud.
Yeah.
If you
bang.
need, I don't know how I could help, but I'd love to be involved with that. I love Jerry Maguire. Show us the money.
That's a start.
Show us
Show
the
me
money.
the money.
Last thing I kind of want to dive into, our guy Magic has had tough time shotgunning Bears. Do you think you have any advice for him at all?
Should we have Pat shotgun?
I don't know if you.
Take a deep
Are you
breath.
are
Put
you
him
good
on.
at shotgunning?
I'm not gonna shotgun on camera.
No, you don't have
No.
to.
No,
But
no.
are you good?
See you Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see Saturday.
Saturday?
Come out Saturday.
Saturday
Yeah.
you'll do it.
No, we have a couple videos of him just like an epic
I'll be there
fail,
after
he's
work.
falling
I'll be
and
there
stuff.
after work.
What happened? Now, what happened when you leave shotgun on the
I
Bears?
just suck. I suck. I'm holding it the wrong way. I'm
Hey,
floss-
hey, we all have our gifts in life,
Yeah,
and that's just not
mine.
one of yours.
No. I'm on track. Like, there's 5 videos of me doing piss poor shotguns.
One of
like,
them's
terrible.
extremely
The one
bad.
in
Like that. It almost looks like I'm faking it.
You know what
They're
that
bad.
means? You're just one video closer to getting it.
I hope so.
Let's
man.
go. Saturday.
I'll rip one right now.
The one in Miami, the Dolphins parking
Where's
lot,
Craig's
that's
knife?
all time bad. He was doing it with like a bunch of Dolphins fans. So
Yeah, but he's probably drinking for
right.
3 straight days by the time he had to
That's
go
a
do it.
factor
At
too,
least
yeah.
four. At
So the
least four.
hands were shaking. There was.
I have no
They
explanation for
literally,
last night.
they
though. I was-
literally are like, get out of the lot. Like they're like, leave the fucking
And then
tailgate.
that was a game the Pats lost, so I blame that loss solely.
Was that
on
last
you.
season?
Yeah,
The opener?
No,
No,
the
ender,
finale.
The end.
Finale before
Great
the
day.
playoffs.
Oh, they're all just running together now.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You
That
been?
game, that game that sucked and we didn't make it. Yeah.
Oh, which one?
Have you been to the Miami Stadium?
I haven't been to the Miami Stadium.
Great take.
Am I missing out?
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a great tailgate.
Okay.
Good facility. Solid
Nice.
concessions.
Tennessee's was awesome. That place is sick.
Oh,
The
it's right in the middle of
Nashville thing, yeah.
everything.
That place is unreal.
Nashville's a great city. Did you go
Great
when the
spot.
Pats went down?
Yeah. Yeah. We went there. What was it, like 2018? Something like that.
Yeah, Brady
Brady
lost, but
was
it was
still
still a
there.
great time.
That was an ugly game.
It was, but I told all of them I'll see them at the
That-
parade. All the Titans
And,
fans, and, then we won the Super Bowl.
We won the Super Bowl. Yeah, so that was good.
Fuck all
Used to
those
be
people.
able to say that. Not
I-
so much.
I
Nowadays,
loved
it's
it.
probably tough going into
I
it.
used it a lot
visiting.
though. I used it a lot, so I got.
Yeah.
Nashville's such a great city.
That's the best.
Was there 2
What's
weeks
your
ago?
top
It was
city
awesome.
in the country, Pat?
I'd have to say Nashville.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I had a
Right
good
here.
I had a good time in Nashville.
Place
You're
is
just drinking and
incredible.
walking around the street.
Yeah,
That's-
just my
that's all
speed,
it
you know.
is. Hell yeah.
We were there. It
There's
was
speed. It's chaos there.
it was
You
May.
like chaos?
I love chaos.
No,
All
yeah,
right.
it's just live music and mayhem.
I
from
love
like 10
chaos, and
a.m.
you go
to
1,000% energy, man. That's my
Yeah,
speed.
that's,
Love it.
that's what that.
And we always love Vegas, though. Always love Vegas.
We were
Never
talking
been,
with
never done
Jaffe.
it, never done it.
We're hoping for a Bruins Vegas fucking Stanley Cup.
Oh boy.
Bruce
Wouldn't that be
Cassidy,
awesome?
Oh,
Jim
boy.
Montgomery. That'd be
Game
great.
7, OT, Jake DeBrusque, winner.
Winner. And he just
Let's
flips
ride.
off
Yeah, that'd be
Cassidy.
so
Oh,
sick.
I would love
God.
to go to a Stanley Cup game in
That'd be
Vegas.
Oh, I couldn't imagine. Yeah,
I
they
actually
do
was
for the
living
cup.
in Vegas.
You wouldn't
during
make it
their
home.
The first
season.
year they were in
yeah,
the cup.
first year, and they put it. I went to a watch party at the just to check out the stadium. It was
Do you remember
great.
the ice was like melting because it was like 1,000
Yeah,
degrees
probably.
outside? They couldn't keep it.
And they just had like the greatest light show on earth too, which like didn't
That was
help at
weird.
all. Like it was just
Disney,
going
the
crazy.
Disney on Ice
yeah.
opening.
Yeah, and it was just like
It's a weird
Jesus.
environment.
Yeah.
It is. They got EDM music playing. Like it's like
Vegas.
a club. It's like a club. during
I
the
remember that
intermission.
now. That first season, the intro for the Stanley Cup games.
Yeah,
were
they went
crazy.
nuts,
We were
yeah.
somewhere, so the volume wasn't on the TV, and we look up at it, like, what the hell's going on here? And it just kept going on and on and on and on.
Yeah,
so.
it was the Super Bowl halftime show just for like the start of the game. It was nuts.
Love it. For the love of the game.
Is there anything
Yeah.
you want to add on the bees since we had a bees episode?
Not much to say about them. They're just gonna keep this thing rolling.
Keep the wagon rolling.
Just
Can't,
hopefully-
can't say much more better than Jaffe did.
Yeah,
Just
That guy's a
hopefully-
pro.
So hopefully they don't run into a red hot goaltender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
that's
or
what
a
he
bad
said.
matchup.
Yeah, that's
He
what we
said
talked about.
Islanders got good goaltending. Folks, want to thank you for tuning in. Stop by Saturday, 7 p.m. JJ
Till whenever.
Foleys.
Till whenever.
Till whenever. Fundraiser. I'm blanking on what the cause is for.
Yeah, it's Project Deep, Quincy Special Needs Athletics. It's such a great program. I tell you, the most selfish thing you could do actually is go down and help these kids out for an hour, just because how you feel when you leave. It's a great perspective, you know.
Mhm.
It's and I think we all played sports growing up, and being able to give them that opportunity to do it. I just think the lessons sports teaches you, it just translates over to life and business and family, and just giving these kids the opportunity and seeing the parents and how much the parents enjoy it. For me, it's everything. So hopefully Saturday night we'll have a great time and we'll raise some money for those kids, and we'll accomplish a lot of good. And hopefully, Magic, you can redeem yourself.
With the shotgun?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm trying to
We'll
think.
see.
Do you have cans there?
I'm trying to think. We have High Noon and can and White Claw.
I'll shotgun a high noon.
If he doesn't do it, your father's gonna kick
Boom.
him.
You can,
Yeah,
you
get
can
the
boom
boot
me.
right
Give me
away.
the boot.
It's like an old WrestleMania like loser leaves match.
Will Brendan and Jeremiah be there and everyone?
Jeremiah will be there.
Good, good.
Yeah, your boy.
Always like to see him.
Jeremiah's the best.
Also want to thank Billy Jaffe, Bruins Insider, coming on the show. Hedge Better, Justin, making all this possible. Shout out to Showtime somewhere in Worcester right now. He's been killing it. Big shout out to Craig there.
Showtime hasn't slept in
interesting man
days.
on the planet.
Yep.
He hasn't slept in days, folks.
Haven't seen my guy Craig Kelly in a while, but stop out to Slight Edge Fitness Performance, 101 French Avenue. Looks like I think they had like a truck up there today of like some sports drink. Oh, looks like they're doing great things out there.
Hey, love to see it.
Always.
Law offices of Patrick J. Foley, from what I've heard. Business is booming.
Booming,
Keep it
booming.
rolling.
Seaport Social, it's getting nice out there, fellas.
Yeah, time's
225 North Avenue. Go say hi to his Jim.
Jim?
Who's
Yeah,
the manager?
Jimmy Vay.
Jimmy Vay.
He's actually gone, but that's we can move on from that.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of old faces are gone from there, but that's all right.
That's all right.
Like I said, I dined there after the Bob episode. Fucking great food. Great atmosphere. They had Happy Dads. I recommend seeing
Yeah,
Seaport
great
Social.
nachos, insane.
Doesn't
nachos.
matter who the manager is or who is
Be
behind that
there.
bar.
Just be there.
Be there.
That's all from Steele Nazz. Be safe out there. And have a great weekend. Should be a
Yep.
good one. Go Sox.
See you, JJ's.